Rosie, Revere, and the Raucous Riveters by Andrea, Beaty, illustrations by David Roberts. Chapters 5 and 6. Chapter 5. Give her a minute, said the tall woman, winking at Rosie. She doesn't even know who we are. She shook Rosie's hand. I'm Letty McAllister, she said, and these are my sisters, Hetty and Betty. We are musicians. Two women in red waved at Rosie. The woman sitting next to Betty smiled. Rosie and I are old friends, she said. Bernice was Ada's great aunt. She owned the archaeology shop on the town square. It was called Can You Dig It? The shop was full of ancient things from all around the world. Rosie and Ada and their friend Iggy come to visit me all the time. These kids are so full of ideas and questions that I give them a nickname. I call them the questioneers. Ooh, I like that, said Aunt Rose. The other women nodded. Rosie liked it too. Visiting the Can You Dig It shop was always an adventure, and Bernice was full of ideas and questions. She was one of Rosie's favorite people. I have new treasures in the shop, Bernice said. Bring Ada and Iggy to see them. I will, said Rosie. We have another singer in the group, said Betty McAllister. This is Mary Ann, and she sings opera. Wait until you hear her. A pleasure to meet you, said Mary Ann. She was formal and elegant, with silvery hair, a strand of pearls, and a twinkle in her eye. She smiled at Rosie. Rosie smiled back. And lastly, said the woman in the wheelchair, I'm Eleanor, but you can call me Boss. Everybody does. Because you're bossy, joked Letty. I speak plain and get things done, said Boss. If that makes me bossy, then good. I'm too busy getting things done to care. The Riveters cheered. Boss smiled. We are the Blue River Riveters, she said. We worked together at the B-29 factory during World War II. We built more airplanes than you could imagine. We made a difference back when it was needed the most, and we still do our part. You're the women in the photos, said Rosie. But where are the others? It was a long time ago, dear, said Marianne. We've lost many friends. Her voice grew quiet. So many, said Letty. The Riveters raised their coffee mugs with one hand and slapped the table with the other. To friends, they cheered. Chapter 6. After a moment, Boss slapped the table again. The McAllister sisters let us use their house as our own home, she said. It's your home, too, said Betty. We've all known one another for so long we're family. Rosie liked that. She lived with all her aunts and uncles and knew that families came in all shapes and sizes. We always help one another in an emergency, said Letty. And sometimes we get together and just dance, said Aunt Rose. Yeah, we do, said Hetty. She tapped out a beat on her coffee mug. Letty and Betty broke into a zippy song about doing the boogie-woogie and jumping the jive. The Riveters swayed and clapped along. Whack! Boss slapped the table hard and the room went silent. Riveters, have you forgotten our emergency, said Boss. We have to help June. Sorry, Boss, said Hetty, not looking very sorry at all. I got carried away there. Then get carried right back here, said Boss. You can start by telling Rosie what's going on. Hetty and the Riveters told Rosie about June, the artist of the bunch. During the war, June painted the pictures on the noses of the airplanes. Each year, June painted in the art contest at Blue River Creek Festival. It was the most important event of the year for her. A few months ago, June wrecked her motor scooter and broke both her wrists. Her wrists were very weak, so she still wore casts. How can she paint with casts? Asked Rosie. Boss stared hard at Rosie. That, she said, is up to you. Aunt Rose handed Rosie a flyer. Art a Go-Go. Saturday, 9:30 a.m. Meet at Town Library to receive the theme of the contest. 2 p.m. Judging begins. Artists must paint by themselves. Support teams can set up, clean up, and cheer. No electricity can be used. June is having a hard time, said Aunt Rose, so we're going to surprise her. It's top secret. We will take turns keeping June busy. Then we'll sneak her to the contest without her suspecting anything at all. We'll all do our part, said Boss. Boss's smile faded and she looked squarely at Rosie. What about you, Rosie? She asked. Will you do your part?